Labels are some of the most important things when it comes to music. It helps get the music out there, it helps you get profit, and it helps you get discovered. Some labels have good reputations behind them. Others have bad reputations around them. So to determine what the best label that is out right now, we're gonna go through many different label catalogs to see which label's putting out heat and which label's putting me to sleep. Starting with one of the most legendary labels in the 2010s, Young Money, who had a massive run in their prime. The albums we have from them are Lil Wayne's Thought Carter 2, Pink Friday, Drake's Thank Me Later, Tyga's Careless World, Rise of the Last King, Gudda Gudda's Guttaville, Jay Sean's All or Nothing, and Kevin Rudolph's To the Sky. Well, obviously we all know what the pick's coming down to, but let's discuss these other albums. Pink Friday is a decent pop rap album that showed her mainstream potential but had major consistency issues as a whole. As for Take Care by Drake, solid start to his discography, but his next album would go on to surpass this one. And I never found myself to be a Tyga fan. His provocative lyrics rubbed me the wrong way, and the main issue he suffers from is his lyricism. With that said, Thought Carter 2 for the win. Guttaville's the worst one by default because of Gudda Gudda. This man literally said, "And I got her grocery bag." I can't even make this shit up. Next we have one of the most well-known labels of all time, Empire. Their roster of albums include Wake Up Lucky by Lucky and Filthy, Finally Fed by Peso, Legendary by Tyga, 17 by X, LeVon James by King Von, Lungu Boy by Asake, Life is Beautiful by Larry June, 2 Chainz and The Alchemist, Mob by Babyface Ray, 310 Degrees by 310 Baby, Jeremy by Young Blue, TMZ by Money Man, Trauma Tone and Zaytoven, and Sauce Father 2 by Sauce Walka. There is a lot of mid in here. Finally Fed is the most basic West Coast rap album you'll hear all year. Even with its stacked feature list, it couldn't do anything really that interesting in its nearly 1 hour long runtime. Wake Up Lucky is nothing that remarkable for a rapper and producer album, but better than some of the other albums on here. 17 is the most controversial album on here because of its themes of self-deletion and mental health, but most of the songs sound identical. And I do quite like the homages to the classic southern rap sound with the chopped and screwed outros for Sauce Father 2, but consistency issues hold it back. Best album here is Life is Beautiful, and the worst album here is Legendary. Next up we have one of the shadiest record labels out there, that being Def Jam. Their albums are Swag by Mental Retard, Everybody Can't Go by Benny the Butcher, The Machine Is Coming by Odumodu Black, Welcome to Khaligraph by 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne, Tequila Ever After by Adekunle Gold, I Love It Here by Nasty C, Detroit 2 by Big Sean, Why Not More by Coco Jones, League of My Own by G3, Late Nights the Album by Jeremy, Dark Times by Vince Staples, and This Is What I Mean by Stormzy. Okay, interesting selection here. I mean, Swag is the worst one, obviously. Is it not clocking to you that I am stupid? Although League of My Own is a pretty uninteresting album as a whole. Now for deciding the best one, Welcome to Khaligraph is inconsistent as a whole. Good songs in the first half, but it falls apart near the end. Detroit 2 also has a lot of highlights, but it isn't skipless. And This Is What I Mean is a pretty compelling album lyrically, but his previous album stuck with me more. I decided on Dark Times as the best album. Deeply personal, but also reminding you to keep going no matter how hard it gets. Next is the label that keeps you in a legal hellhole for the rest of your career, that being 300 Entertainment. We Have So Much Fun by Young Snitcher, Post Traumatic by T Grizzly, Thank God by Hutcho, Porch to the Pent by 1900 Rugrat, Paid in Full by OGZ, Traumazine by Megan Thee Stallion, Still Too Deep by OMBPZ and Will a Fool, One of One by Gunna, Diana by Famous Dex, Intrude by Lud Dill, Gas God 2 by Lil Jarmy, and A Jaguar's Dream by Jordan Adetunji. Hey guys, Devin from the future here. So I finished up the graphics for each label on August 6th. And for some reason, Gunna decided to drop his worst album 2 days after I had the video ready to go. So yeah, the last one is the worst album on 300 Entertainment. If it wasn't for that, it would have went to Diana by Famous Dex. Just wanted to let y'all know. Okay, back to the best album for 300 entertainment. So much fun. It's Young Thug's best album, it's energetic, it's what the title says it is, a whole lot of fun. Despite whether or not you think Thug told, you can't deny how enjoyable this album was. Next is Interscope. We have Star by 2 Hollis, Whole Lotta Red by a Fucking Deadbeat, Withered by David, More Chaos by Ken Carson, Badass Fucking Kid by Nutspend, HEIS by Rima, GNX by Kendrick Lamar, Glorious by Glorilla, Hit Me Hard and Soft by Billie Eilish,
Tropiqueta by Karol G,
If Looks Could Kill by Destroy Lonely and Never Gets Laid Here by Shenseea. Yeah, it's GNX here. Even though it's far from Kendrick's best album, it's fun and I played it a lot at the end of the year. Worst project, and emphasis on project when we get to it, here is Badass Fucking Kid. Why? It's a mixed-up. And it does everything that a Rage project does wrong. It's vocally shit, the beats are loud and obnoxious and the cover looks like it was made by someone who just learned how to use Blender. Absolutely disgraceful. Next is RCA. We have the infamous by Mobb Deep, Indigo by Wife Beater, Born in the Wild by Thames, Alter Ego by Lisa, Sugar Honey Iced Tea by Latto, Morale by Wizkid, So Close to What by Tate McRae, SOS Lana by SZA, Even in Arcadia by Sleep Token, Trap Soul by Bryson Tiller, Freak Show by G Stinky and Planet Her by Doja Cat. I regret to inform you but the worst album here isn't going to Sleep Token or Chris Brown. It's going to G-Eazy. That album was absolutely awful when I first heard it and I couldn't wait for it to end. As for the best, the infamous, obviously. Top tier rapping and features from some legendary names like Nas, Raekwon and Q-Tip. One of the best rap albums of all time in my opinion. Next is Epic. We have Tyla's self-titled album, To Be Eaten Alive by Mariah the Scientist, American Dream by 21 Savage, Blame the Chat, and possibly the producers as well, by DDG, Utopia by Travis Scott, DS2 by Future, Silence Between Songs by Madison Beer, Familia by Camila Cabello, What's the Story Morning Glory by Oasis, High Infidelity by Rio Speedwagon, Blizzard of Oz by the late and great Ozzy Osbourne and Tidal by Meghan Trainor. Before we get into the best and worst albums here, rest in peace to the King of Darkness. You will forever be missed. With that, we're actually going with him here. As for the worst album here, Meghan Trainor easily. Why did Epic even give her a career in the first place? Next we have the label that exploits their artists and practices racism, Atlantic Records. Their albums include Rosie by Rose, 1000 gecs by 100 gecs, 10 Days by Fred Again, Brat by Charlie XCX, The Crossroads by Cordae, You Sexua by FKA Twigs, Eternal A Take Two by Lil Uzi Vert, New King by Jason Derulo, Back to Bedlam by James Blunt and 'Cause I Love You by Lizzo. For this one I can finally say it's Brat. The cultural phenomenon of last year. It had some bright and upbeat moments on it as well as some emotionally mature moments as well. As for the worst, there's a lot to consider here. James Blunt sounds like a dying cat when he's singing. Uzi only dropped a shitty sequel to the previous one just to get out of his record deal and 10 Days has way too many interludes on it for my liking. But I decided on New King. It's a bland and generic pop album with nothing special to it. Next is Columbia Records. Albums released under this label are Can't Rush Greatness by Central C, The Goat by Polo G, The First Time by The Kid Laroi, Destined to Win by Lil TJ, Chromacopia by Tyler the Creator, Renaissance by Beyoncé, Montero by Lil Nas X, In Pieces by Chloe, Addison by Addison Rae, Something Beautiful by Miley Cyrus, Sex Hysteria by Jessie Murph and Butterfly by Mariah Carey. Isn't it coincidental how the two best albums here are next to each other? Yeah, I'm taking Renaissance. Even though I do appreciate a deeper look into Tyler as a person on Chromacopia and opening up about his imperfections, I do like the dance-oriented sound of Renaissance. Especially on Break My Soul, the anthem about not letting systemic issues stop you from doing what you want to achieve. Church Girl is also a certified banger. As for the worst, while Central C's album doesn't show much in terms of versatility or skill, Sex Hysteria feels like a soulless blend of country pop and trap music. And the Lil Baby feature was not it. Next is Republic Records. Releases under this label are Glockavelli by Key Glock, Her Loss by Drake and 21 Savage, Dopamine by Lil Tecca, Pink Friday 2, Eternal Sunshine by Ariana Grande, Hurry Up Tomorrow by The Weeknd, On My Way to Rexdale by Nev, F1 Trillion by Post Malone, 11th Dimension by Ski Mask the Slump God, Insano by Kid Cudi, Thought Carter 6 by Lil Wayne and Found Heaven by Conan Gray. Hey, look, I think Key Glock's getting better at making albums. Before he wasn't as good at it, but he has improved a lot over the years, so I'll give him that. But it's going to The Weeknd for this one. Despite its length, it is a good album. Just not better than House of Balloons or Thursday. As for the worst, I was considering F1 Trillion and Pink Friday 2 since one isn't a very interesting country album for a rapper to be making and one relies too heavily on nostalgia bait to make it stand out. But come on, it's Thought Carter 6 because what could possibly be worse than hearing Elephants and a song where Wayne covers Weezer? Next is Bad Boy Records, the label that benefited their artists the least. We have Ready to Die by the Notorious B.I.G., No Way Out by the Diddler himself, 112 self-titled album, Excuse My French by French Montana, Cassie's self-titled album, Lace Up by Machine Gun Kelly, Harlem World by Maze, Project Funk Da World by Craig Mack, Shine's self-titled album, Metropolis by Janelle Monáe, Total self-titled album and The Lox's Money, Power and Respect, Easiest Picks of My Life. Best is obviously Ready to Die because as the Brooklyn Natives' first album, it's considered to be one of the best debut albums of all time. Would be the best if it wasn't for Illmatic. And the worst? Excuse My French. By default, anything French Montana drops on the label is the worst release on that label. I don't wanna hear it. Next is Quality Control. We have My Turn by Lil Baby, Shades of Gloss by Gloss Up, Let's Start Here by Lil Yachty, Raw by City Girls, Popular Loner by Metro Mars, Cavo Hucho by Cavo, In Due Time by Lakia, Hell Yeah Story by Leighton Green, Crunk Star by Duke Deuce, The Last Rocket by Takeoff, Better Than Yesterday by Collision and Live From the Six by I Swear Vezo. Out of the three Solo Migos albums released near the same time, Takeoff did have the best one. He was the most chill one in the group and locked in on his. But it's going to Yachty here. Before this album, his sales were declining because nobody wanted to listen to bland trap music anymore. But with this, he showed everyone that anyone can break genre boundaries if they wanted to. He ventured into psychedelic rock with this one and it honestly sounds amazing. If you're a fan of Pink Floyd's Animals, you're gonna enjoy this one. As for the worst, it's going to Cavo's album. Bland, uninspired, boring and overly long for some reason.
Next is TDE, also known as Top Dog Entertainment. This was the old label Kendrick was a part of before he made his own independent label named PG Lang. The projects here include SOS by SZA, Alligator Bites Never Heal by Doechii, Blue Lips by Schoolboy Q, Sylvia Demo by Isaiah Rashad, Control System by A Flat Soul, The Good the Bad the Dollar Menu by Ray Vaughn, New Beginnings by Reason, Redemption by J-Rock, Bliss by Zakari, Introverted Intuition by Lance Skywalker, Fuck It by Alameda and Damn by Kendrick Lamar. Okay, let's talk about it. I feel like Control System is a pretty great album and a classic in Soul's discography that nobody talks about. And The Good the Bad the Dollar Menu was a great first impression of Ray Vaughn and his vulnerability, but we have to give it to Sylvia Demo here. As for the worst, Reason didn't really contribute much to TDE as a whole, so that's why New Beginnings is the label's worst album.
And finally, the most important label in rap history, Death Row. On Death Row we're serving The Chronic by Dr. Dre, Doggy Style by Snoop Dogg, Please Don't Hurt M Hammer by MC Bankrupt, Survivor's Guilt by Merciless, All Eyes on Me by Tupac, It's Me, Not You by Jane Hancock, October Nights by October London, G-Funk Classics Volumes 1 and 2 by Nate Dogg, Helter Skelter by the DOC, Retaliation, Revenge and Get Back by Dez Dillinger, Jules' self-titled album and Corrupts Against Thought, Between The Chronic, Doggy Style and All Eyes on Me, easily The Chronic. It's a classic at this point and every song bumps in the low rider. Just don't play that one skit in public though. Worst here is obviously Hammer's album. I don't even feel bad for him losing his career. It's almost like he had it coming. And that wraps up the best and worst albums from each label. Which ones did I get right? Which ones did I get wrong? And which labels did I leave out of this one? Let your boy know in the comments. Also make sure to subscribe to Adeline's channel. She helped me out greatly with this one. Until next time, see you on the flip side.